Hey, it's LSFT here today, and today we're here to look at the November sales report in the US and in Canada too. So let's go down here in the automotive news website, and it does say that most Asian brands report US sales surge in November. Ford and Honda still drops, and the total is 14.4 million deliveries. So when you look at it, Toyota has jumped 10%, Subaru 52%, Hyundai 43, Kia 25, Mazda 31, Honda is still suffering at 6.1 dropping, and Ford dropping 7.9%. So now let's go down and have a look at the breakdown. So when we look at here, from Ford and Lincoln, they are still down about 8 and 5%. So totaling 144,984 units in November 2022. Now we look at Honda. Acura is still not good. It's down 13.8% this month to 8,082 units. And overall in the year, it's really hurting a lot. It's minus 37.2%. Honda, on the other side, is down 5.2% to 71,780. And if you look at the 11 months of 2022, wow, it's down 34.3%. They're selling under 1 million units for the whole year. So when you look at it, the whole American Honda, they've gone down 34.7%. And that's quite significant for Honda. Now we look at Hyundai Kia and the breakdown of the brands. Genesis is just marginally up 0.1%. They sold 3 extra units compared to last year at 5,005 units. But overall, 2022 seems to be a good year for them. They've now went past the 50,000 mark, and it's actually increased 12.6% overall. And then when you look at the Hyundai brand, it's 63,305, which is up 42.8%. And when you look at the full 11 months, there are 5% under still, but probably they can break even by end of December. Then we look at Kia. Kia is at 56,703, which is up 25.1% in November. And when you look at the 11 months of 2022 compared to last year, they're only down 3%. So they're very close to what they've done last year. And now we look at Mazda. Mazda is at 26,906 units, which is up 30.6%. So for the 11 months of 2022, Mazda is down 14.6% to 267,616 units. And then we look at Subaru. I don't know what happened at Subaru, but in the month of November, they sold 50,138 units. And comparing to last year, at 33,000, they're up 51.7%. That is bravo, Subaru. And when you look at year to date to last year, they're only down 6.2%. So this 51.7% has really helped them recover from last year. So they're only a shy under 500,000 units for the 11 months of 2022. Now we look at Lexus and Toyota. And when you look at that, Lexus is 18,187, and that's down 4.3% compared to last year the same month. And for the whole year, they're still down 14.9%. That's still quite significant, but not as significant as Honda. Then we look at Toyota. For the month of November, they've actually increased 12.2%, which is very good news for Toyota, which means the chip shortages seem to have been recovering a bit. So 151,039 units compared to 134,597 units last year. So when you compare 11 months of 2022, Toyota has sold 1.6, let's say 9 million units. And comparing to that of last year is 1.88 units. That's still down 10%. I don't know if December they will be able to recover that, but based on the news that we've seen in the production, they've only reduced 1 day of production, which is not too bad. But I definitely still see that they probably would not be able to meet last year's numbers for 2022. But overall, when you look at Toyota Motor North America, they've sold 169,226 units for November. And when you look at that, that's up 10.2% for this year, actually for the November month. And when you look at the whole year, they're down 10.7%, which is still much better than Honda, but not as good as the other like Ford and all that. But still, I would say industry, they're right in the middle. So now when we look at Volvo, they're at 9,233 units, and they're up 20% compared to last year. But when you still look at the first 11 months, they're still down 18.6%. So the industry still has not recovered. But overall, when you look at the month of November, the 7 OEMs are reporting an average of 9.7% increase of sales, which is much better. But when you look at the overall of the 7 OEMs, we're still down 11.8% for the 11 months. So now we flip over to Toyota Canada, which they have released their November vehicle sales results. And they've done that actually yesterday. So when you look at this, they actually give us the numbers, but they don't break it down by model. Unfortunately, I'm not able to find the breakdown, so I don't know how many NXs has been sold or how many RXs have been sold. But we can at least look at the numbers and see what does that all mean. So when you look at it here, Toyota Canada sold 15,202 units across the two brands in November, and that's up 9% compared to last year, which is very good news. Even though, yeah, the units are not a lot, but at least 9% increase is not too bad. So then when we look at here, the Toyota division sold 13,091 units, and that's up 6% compared to last year in November. And then when you look at the division of Lexus, they sold 2,111 units, and that's up 32.9% compared to last year. So Lexus has actually done quite well this month. And maybe it's because last year, 2021, they sold a lot less, and maybe that's why the numbers are so much higher. But 32.9% is a very good number to see during this time. So when you look at the electrified vehicles, they said that 26.6% of the overall sales is electrified vehicles, which means these are the hybrids, the plug-in hybrids, and the EVs. So when you look at that, 26.6, so that's about 4,044 units out of the 15,000 are electrified vehicles. And when you look at Lexus division, they are saying that 51.3% are electrified vehicles, which means it's the hybrids or the plug-in hybrids. Because right now, Lexus still does not have the RZ sold in Canada, so there's definitely no BEVs on the market at this point. And the 51.3% really brings to 1,083 hybrids and plug-in hybrids are sold for the month of November, which is not too bad, I would say. So now we switch over to November sales for Lexus USA in the United States. And when you look at this, this is where there are some interesting things here. When we were showing the automotive news count, it actually said 18,187 units. But then when I went to every single model, I only added it all up and it went to 17,917. So I don't know where that discrepancy of the 270 units. But again, this is all the information I have, and this is the best I can show you guys. So this is the breakdown, and you can see that there's the percentages here. So the most shocking thing is that the RX only sold 3,721 units, and that's actually quite significantly low compared to previous months, and probably the worst November ever. So when we look at it, the IS 1645, and we look at ES 2697, LS sold 233, LC 114, RC 286, and the car division sold about almost 5,000 units, and the truck division almost 13,000. The UX 703, NX 5706, RX 3721, GX 2464, and the LX 348. And when you look at the percentages, the NX is the best selling vehicle for November 2022. Then it comes to the RX, then it comes to the ES, then the GX, and so forth. So I'm popping over to this sheet where we actually have the breakdown since 2019 for every month of the sales. And when you look at it, the UX 703 seems to be the new norm. They've been selling way more of them in 2019, 2020, but it seems they're reaching a new low in 2022. And then when you look at the NX, so the NX is quite interesting. Last month, they've actually sold the best selling month of October. And but this month, when you look at November, and if you look down here where I have all the generations, you can see the top is 6,420. This month, 5,006 is not too far, but we're anticipating here that the month of December seems to be a very good month for the NX, other than last year where they only sold 15, 16 because of the new model. And when you look at this, hopefully this time we will see at least about 5,000 ish to 6,000 units. And I think that will be the best we can see roughly in the 2022. And when you look at it, we're reaching numbers about 2015, 2016 range. Because if you look at it without calculating December, we're very close to 2015 sales, which is not bad for when we have this chip shortage, which means the demand is still good. And when you look at it, 2015 was the first year of the NX, a complete year, and they sold 43,000. And now 2022, the second generation, the official first year, and now you're looking at it, they're selling going to be more than the first generation. Now we look at the RX, which really hurts because when you look at it, 3,721 units. Almost the worst month, right? There is a month, 2020 April, when they only sold 2,874. So they didn't break that record, but it's close. But I think it's also because they were switching over to the new model. So hopefully, when you look at this, if they are able to sell the 11,594 units they sold in December last year, we will still see over 100,000 unit year. We will have to see because 2020 was not a good year too, and they only just got a shy over 100,000. So I think they're going to be targeting at least 7,000 units, and if they could do that, they're going to be still over 100,000 units for the RX, which is still the best selling model. So then let's go down to the GX. When you look at the GX, it's been a good month, better than last month, but not the best. But then the demand seems to be quite similar because even if you look at 2019, 25,000 units, they sold 27,000 units. So the GX seems to be not impact as much as part of the chip shortages and all that. And again, it could also be because it's using older technology. So when you look at the LX, they're close to last year at this point. They're at 3,200 units. And if they continue to sell the same, they will probably beat last year's numbers, but will not beat previous years. We'll have to see how the chip shortages will and the shortage of supplies and see where they're going to end up in 2022. We look at the IS, 19,464 units. And when you compare to that, it's actually, we've already beat 2019 and 2020 already. Last year, 22,000. So if we look at another 1,400, we're going to reach close, but I don't think we're going to beat the 2021 numbers for the IS. ES, we're looking at not beating last year's numbers, but I think we'll be close to 2020. If we do reach 4,000 units, it's at 4,200. So it would be close, but again, it's not going to be a record breaking year for the ES. And for the LS, a little bit lower, but with the new Lexus interface on the LS, maybe we'll see higher numbers in December. Time will tell on that one. LC, it's gone down, probably sell half of what they sold last year, but when you look at 2019 and 2020, we're reaching the same numbers. So I would say that's normal. Then you look at the RC. The RC has dropped significantly, and most likely this year it will still sell under last year's number, so meaning it's probably requiring a refresh very soon. So when we look at the total sales, we're right now at 238,000 units for 2022. And you look at last year at 300,000, I doubt we will reach that number. And the reason for that is there are a few months where we've seen significant drops, and that's quite unfortunate. But when you look at it, even at 2021, pre-pandemic 2019, we're still far. But December has always been a very good month for Lexus. So we will have to see what that actually turns out. And when we look at the numbers from Japan, where they're saying that they're reducing their shifts, it's actually been a month where they've reduced a lot less. So hopefully the numbers will shine, and hopefully like the new RX will be selling like hotcakes, and we'll be able to see more cars out, and that 3,721 units will become like 14,000 hopefully. It's going to be hard to say, but the good news is I've actually seen the RX on the streets already. I've actually seen a few of them already, which is much better at launch compared to the NX, because when the NX was launched, I didn't see a brand new NX until the new year. But now, at least in November, I've already seen a few on the street. So I think the RX has been, because it's a bestseller, they've actually been able to produce more. So recently, I've been chatting with a few folks, and they've actually given me some highlights of what is the delivery timing. And when we look at each model, and this is really roughly in Canada, I don't know what it will be in the US, but it's a good point, like a reference that we can use. So the RC, roughly the delivery time is about 5 to 12 months. The ES is about 3 to 5 months. The ES hybrid is about 5 to 12 months. And the IS is actually less than 3 months. So if you need a car right now, the IS is not a bad option. And then when you look at the SUVs, the UX hybrid is about 5 to 12 months wait. The NX, so the NX 250 or the 350 gas only version, is less than 3 months. The NX hybrid is about 5 to 12 months, and the NX plug in hybrid is over 12 months. And I've already heard from some of my subscribers that they're saying it's going to be 2 years to wait. So they'll be getting a 2024 model or even 2025 model. That's crazy. Then when you look at the RX, the gas version of the RX, it's less than 3 months. The RX hybrid is about 5 to 12 months. The GX is about 5 to 12 months. And the new LX, that is over 12 months wait too. The demand is so high overall in the world that the LX is actually still needs 12 months or plus, which is similar to the NX plug-in hybrid. So the numbers that I was saying was really just a reference based on historical lead times, and it's just a point of reference. Reality is we don't know, because supply could actually go worse or supply can actually accelerate, and then all these dates will probably change. But you would notice the gas only versions are going to be delivered much faster than a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. And that could be related to supply of the electric engines, and supply of the batteries and all the components that are required for the hybrid, which the gas only versions do not require. So then when you look at that, it does mean that the aluminum or the steel that is needed for the body, the paint, and all that is all available. the the biggest thing is there requires more chips, more things for hybrid, because of the computer being able to switch between electric to gas or the charging and all that. So that's why probably the wait times are going to be longer. So if you really need a vehicle, what I would probably do is go pick up a gas only version, wait less than 3 months, and then just do a short lease or something. do like a 2-year lease or something, and put your name on a plug-in hybrid, and then wait for it. And hopefully by that time, you will be able to pick up your plug-in hybrid and you will still have a vehicle to drive. So maybe that could be a good option, because the wait for the NX plug-in hybrid will definitely be long, and you probably do need a vehicle to drive. And if you can't wait, that could be an option. Get used to driving the NX 350 or the 250, put it on a lease, drive it, and then by the time the NX plug-in hybrid arrives, you can then switch over, and essentially the vehicle looks the same. But I can tell you, the drive quality is much different. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, and share this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that alert button to get notified when new videos are posted. If you'd like to support the channel, you can definitely provide a super thanks. I'll see you guys again next time in the next video.